day.
It blows my troubles away. I'll chase around to keep me happy when it's a windy day. Today, whatever the weather, we can make the most of our time. Today, we're in it together, so it doesn't matter if the sun won't shine.
Good morning, everybody. I have chosen that song today because it is both sunny and windy, and it's Thursday morning for you, and for me it's Wednesday lunchtime, and I've just been out for a little walk, and it was so nice to see you all playing outside, looking at the front yard and seeing children playing on the banking, on the grass, and doing that thing that you children do even though it's still cold, which is you take your coats off. Don't know why you do that because it's still quite chilly, but really nice to see you all playing in the sunshine. So all of this week we are talking about some of the best things in life. We're talking about springtime and all of the things that we're looking forward to. So I'm going to read another page from our lovely Things to Spot in Spring book, and today we're going to focus on new life. And I've had some feedback and some mentions for some children who have animals, farm animals, and they're going to let us know that they have seen some signs of new life with the animals that they keep. But first of all, I promised you that I would show you, in case you didn't have a classroom up this end of school, our springtime display. So, Bob my mask on for going into the corridor, but come with me and I'll just show you what's on there. Here we go. Hi, Miss Horsefall.
Oh, hello.
Miss Horsefall's just having her lunch because it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Right, let's turn this around. Here we go. So, here we are, everybody. Here is our spring display. So, there is my Easter tree that you saw on my assembly last week, I think. We have our, oh yes, here we are, just what we're talking about today. Our springtime book. We have our poetry book for today. Today's the 24th because it's Wednesday, but you're watching this on the 25th, which is a poem about a feather. Speaking of feathers, there's my lovely stone with a feather painted on it, and a tree in blossom, and some chocolate eggs, because of course we have 1 week left before we will be wishing each other a happy Easter. And further on my display, got a beautiful picture of a barn owl. And I'm going to talk to you about someone who's got a barn owl in her barn. I think it's a barn owl, just at the moment. And then these are going to be next week's books as we move on to telling the Easter story. That really, really important story in the Christian religion that explains why we have things like Easter eggs today. So there you go. Just give you one more shot of that. That's our Easter display, which is just outside my office. So there we are. I've shared it with you now. So let's go back in and let's have a look. What have I got to tell you? So it's like doing the news headlines. This is what's new in Northowram. Who has seen some new life? Okay, so I've got some really important things to tell you. So some children who they either live on a small holding, like a little small farm, or they have a field, or they live on a proper big farm, have been sharing with me some signs of new life. Now, the first person I spoke to was Zachary in year 6. So Zachary and Sophie have a small farm. And Zachary told me this was the most, if you were going to guess what animals might live on a farm and what might be seeing in terms of new life, you might be thinking of lambs and cows. But no, on Zachary's farm, they keep tortoises. It was a surprise, but it made me smile. But the other thing that Zachary told me was that they keep geese on his farm. And this is a challenge. I know that year 6, Miss Green's class, I know you know this. Let's play the baby animals game. What do you call a baby goose? Miss Horsefall, do you know what you call a baby goose? Have a think. It's not a duckling, so what might it?
Gosling.
It's a gosling. Well done to Miss Horsefall. Yes, and Zachary was telling me that they do have some goslings that have hatched on their farm, which is really, really lovely. So that was that. And then Casey was telling me about some more goslings, some more little geese that have hatched, and also a farm, I think it was near her, that had some young goats who had just been born. Miss Horsefall, do you know what a young goat is called?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Oh, maybe you know.
Oh.
Oh, do you need some help?
Is it a foal?
It's not a foal.
Oh,
It's not a
no.
foal. That's what horses are called, baby horses.
No, sorry, that's a fail.
Okay, so baby goats are called kids. Just like children sometimes are called kids, aren't they? So yeah, so we've got some baby goats, some kids, some bulls and some cows and some sheep. And then Elliot was telling me that he has got some sheep at the moment, and I think a goose and some pheasants. But I think he's going to be selling the sheep. I'm not sure what for, Elliot, but that sounded really interesting. I had no idea that you had animals where you lived. And then I was talking to Lizzie, and Lizzie was telling me, because I got this wrong, I thought that all baby animals were born in the spring, but Lizzie's put me right on that. She keeps cattle, so cows, on her farm, and she tells me that the cows don't have their, what do we call a baby cow, Miss Horsefall?
Oh, you really put me on the spot now.
Am I? I'm so sorry.
In the middle of my lunch.
I'm so sorry. You eat your lunch. A baby cow is called a calf. And Lizzie told me that cows don't have their calves until the summertime. So not spring, but in summer. And Lizzie was also telling me that she has some horses. And I think you're thinking about getting some pigs. Baby pigs, Miss Horsefall.
I know this one.
You know this one. Come on then. Baby pigs.
Piglet.
Piglets, yes. That would be really nice to have, wouldn't it? And the other really special thing is that Lizzie is the girl who has a barn owl in her barn. And I think it just came there to nest. And then Lizzie's mum and Lizzie have built a box for it to nest really, really beautifully. So that's really, really good news. And then I went to speak to Seth in year 4. And Seth tells me that, oh, this is really interesting. He's got 2 new baby lambs. So that's young sheep that have been born where he lives. So that's really exciting. And then Seth was telling me about his beloved hens. Seth knows everything there is to know about hens. And he has sort of 2 sets of hens, some which are kept apart from the cockerels to lay eggs to eat. And then the other hens who mix in with the cockerels who lay eggs which will actually hatch. And to help them along the way, Seth tells me that they're just putting some new hen eggs into the incubator now, hoping that they will hatch out into chicks. So there we go. That's evidence, isn't it, that new life is all around us in the season of spring. And I think there is one page on new life. The season of new life. And we've just found so many examples. Let's see what our page tells us. Springtime is a busy time on farms as it is lambing and calving season. Me and Lizzie think calving season is probably a little bit later in the year. A time when most sheep give birth. In fields all across the country, fluffy lambs are leaping about and calves with wobbly legs are following their mothers asking to be fed. Farmers who have flocks of sheep and herds of cows must be constantly on the alert, as they may need to help with births at any time of the day or night. Most cows give birth to 1 calf at a time, but sheep often have twins or even triplets. So Seth, you'll have to tell me, are your 2 lambs, are they like from the same mum? Were they twins born to the same mum? Do let me know. Or was it 2 different sheep that each had 1? After giving birth, now you'll have to tell me whether this is right, Seth, because you'll know about this. The mother sheep, or ewe, E-W-E, that's what we call the female sheep, will lick and clean the lamb until it is able to stand on its own feet. Once the lamb stands up, the ewe encourages it to feed on milk from her udders. During this time, the ewe learns what her lamb smells like. Once they are back with the flock, the ewe will use her sense of smell to recognise her offspring in the field and make sure that it is always looked after. This process between ewe and lamb is called imprinting. So even if they're in a really big a really big field full of lots and lots of sheep, because of that time that they spend together when they're first born, a mother sheep, a ewe, can recognise which is her lamb just from its smell. So there we go. New life. So have a chat in your class, because I didn't manage to get round to all of the classes. Who else lives on a farm or keeps those kinds of animals? Has anyone else got some tales to share of new life in spring? And do let me know too, because these are happy stories and they make us all really, really optimistic and looking forward to all the good things ahead. So there we go. It's our spring assembly number 4, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day, everybody. Bye for now.